I have the dictation machine running here. We're going to test it out. We're going to see how it works so you guys can kind of read along. I am a 27-year-old female. She's a twin and just discovered that her boyfriend enjoys watching videos of twins on adult websites. What steps do I need to take here? Should I get my sister involved? Yeah, that's going to complicate the relationship. If you bring somebody else in, it always does to it, regardless if it's your sister. I mean, that's kind of weird. If you're fucking the same guy at the same time in the same room, it's kind of a little bit of incest there, isn't it? It's dancing on the line. That'll make fucking Thanksgiving weird as shit. I have been with my boyfriend for about 2 years now. My family and friends like him, and we were thinking of moving in together. I also have a twin sister, probably have a slightly more distant relationship than most. But we love one another and keep in contact. I'm only including this for context later on. Often I go and stay at my boyfriend's place on weekends. Last Friday night I went over as usual and was putting on some of my things in the bedroom when I saw his laptop was still on. Fun fellas, never leave your laptop on. Always shut it off, make sure it's locked. Maybe put it in the floorboards when your girl comes over. You don't want her sifting through things, you know? Have like a hidey hole. Just stuffing under the bed or inside the mattress or something. Maybe I shouldn't have done it, but I went and took a look on his screen. It was an adult website and a video was paused. The video was of twins. I was shocked and instantly felt sick to my stomach in that moment. I couldn't help but think my boyfriend was imagining my sister and I. He probably has had that thought, to be honest, especially if you two are attractive. So if he's already into that porn, yeah, there's a 100% chance he was probably thinking about you too. But why does that shock you? But unless you haven't been around for a while, like in the dating scene, that's a pretty common one right there, the twin thing. Or at least it seems like it is. Like, because it used to be in a lot of jokes, and even in commercials, they would hint towards that type of behavior. Like beer commercials and stuff like that, like back in the 90s and early 2000s. Like it's a pretty common kink. Again, it doesn't mean that he wants you to be a part of it, but it's called a fantasy for a reason. It's not always good to get what you want, if that makes any sense. You might fantasize about being a knight in clad armor fighting a dragon, but if you got thrown into that situation, you'd probably be horrified. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Just like he's watching his fantasy, two women who are twins going at it with one guy. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what he would envision, what he wants for himself necessarily. It's just a fantasy. I don't know if that makes any sense. I called him up to the bedroom and confronted him about it. His immediate response was asking why I'd look at his computer. I tried to explain that it made me uncomfortable as a twin to find he'd been watching that sort of porn. I then flat out asked him if he saw me and my twin that way. He couldn't give an answer. I got my stuff and left. He sent a flurry of texts calling me overdramatic to the point where I started to believe him, but I still feel really icky. Oh my God, it's that icky when women say that. He's just icky. You know, you are being a bit overdramatic. Like, let's say this woman got into the relationship with this guy, right? And one of her boundaries was, you know, I don't want you watching porn when you're dating me. That makes me feel weird. And then she finds out that he's been watching porn this whole time, and he's been telling her he hasn't. And then I guess it wouldn't necessarily be an overreaction. I mean, the twin stuff, like I said, it's been a meme since the late 90s. You feel how you feel, I guess. But I personally think that if that's the case, if she's really that icked out, then maybe you guys should just go your separate ways. Because this isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well for either of you, I guess. Because that's the problem. She's going to keep this guy around and keep beating him into the ground because she found it. To make him feel bad. Like, that's the whole point now. I told my sister, and she was really weirded out. I want to make it clear, I don't want to kink shame him, which is exactly what you're doing. We got fat shaming, you know, is there dumb shaming? Now we got kink shaming. Like, this is all a thing now? You're just shaming him, period. We don't have to put you don't have to put a word in front of it. We don't have to put a word in front of everything. Just to make it, oh, it's new age. Fat shaming, kink shaming. You know, there's a little bit of shame involved when you watch porn anyways. And then once you're done, you're just, nope. And then you move on with the day. Like, now I can function. I don't know where I'm going with that joke. When it's explicitly about twins, it makes me feel uncomfortable. More so when I think back to the time he's asked me lots of questions about what it's like having a twin sister and ask why we're not closer. I haven't really spoken much to my boyfriend since then. I told him we need some space, and he obliged. But I don't know where to go from here. Is this enough to end the relationship over? Or can we talk through this? I mean, she's just running to her sister and be like, my boyfriend likes this kind of porn. I mean, she's never going to see you in the same light again because you watch that kind of porn. Well, you know what? Here's what I would say. If he's going to stay in this relationship, Now he needs to find something on you to even the fucking books. If we're gonna be fucking weird and petty about it. Because it seems like a fucking non-issue to me. Really. It's like, yeah, if your sister is also attractive, chances are he's also attracted to her. But it doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna want to fuck her or do anything like that, or actually go through with whatever fantasy he might have. If he does, then that would be weird. If he tells you that's a fantasy he has and he wants you to go through with it, then all this ick and everything would make sense. But since you just ran into a random video that you found on his computer of him watching twin porn, like I said before, seems pretty fucking benign to me, then yes, you are overreacting. But if this is how you act when you find stuff like this, what's gonna happen to the next one? What happens if it's a guy who likes to watch black girls and you're a white girl? Is that gonna make you feel weird? Because, well, he must not be into me now. You know, because I hate to tell you that most guys in today's society have watched porn or do it occasionally. Now, some guys take it a little too far and they watch it too often, which is sad. They need to kind of like back away from that. And there's a reason why they call it the oldest profession. I think you're overreacting. Maybe I'm alone. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and till we meet again.